Hey, this is Kenny with Keller Williams Realty. Thanks for checking out my video and following me every week for my weekly videos. This week I wanted to just kind of revisit the Home Partners Lease Purchase Program. I had a client close on a house, a buyer close on a house yesterday dealing with Home Partners, and this is my third one that I've closed since July. I have one in July, one in October, and one this month. So it's working really well, and I just wanted to go deeper into it, share the screen, go through the prospect guide, and just give people a deeper understanding of what it is and what it's all about. Um, it really helps people that are having some type of challenges with financing, but it helps people get their foot in the door and rent and have an option to buy. And that's powerful because you can get in and you can get in the house you want, and then you can kind of fix your credit or whatever instead of just renting a place and not having that peace of mind that you could buy it. So it's kind of like I call it like renting with a purpose. Also, another perk of it is, the rental market is hot, just like the buying market is, and it lets you rent houses that are for sale. Home Partners goes and buys houses that are for sale and puts you in it as a renter, so you're not competing with all the other renters. So you may possibly get better quality. You're going in a whole different pond to find your renter, and the end goal is not renting anyways. Hopefully, you would be renting to try to buy it at some point. Home Partners is not a lender, so you would buy it back from them at the point that you got qualified for a loan and go under the contract with them. They would be the seller. They would sell it back to you. So initially, they buy it from whoever's selling it, and then they'll sell it back to you at the point that you get qualified. So it kind of takes the competition out of the way too, with the market being hot. Like when you exercise your option, it will just be you. It's yours to win, or yours to lose, or yours to just go ahead and move on from. All that being said, um, I'm really impressed with the program because me as an agent and me as kind of a problem solving type of individual, I'm looking for ways to kind of what you would call game the market. I'm not accepting that, oh well, you're just not qualified and that's it. So as much as I can, I try to find things that will put people in position, and this one has really worked. And it was brought to me by a client. The first one that I worked with in July, I had to go through the training and get qualified or whatever. It worked out really good, and then I got another one. I had one that just barely missed. So it was almost four people, but there was one that we were deep into it, and Home Partners looks really close at the condition of the house, and the condition didn't pass, or it would have been another one, and I was kind of sad about that one because that person ended up kind of losing their qualification shortly afterwards, and that house would have been really nice. Hopefully we can get them back on track and do something with them in the future. But that one was kind of sad because we had it, and it was a really nice house, but it had some underlying issues, and it's probably better off that they didn't get into it. And Home Partners looks out for you that way because they are the buyer, and they want to make sure that they're protecting their investment. So don't worry about whether or not they're getting something in good condition. You better believe that they're all about trying to make the right buy. Um, but without further delaying, I'm going to go into this. They have this guide that's really good. One thing that I really like about the Home Partners program is they're super straightforward, and they have good information. They've got good support. If you call them, chat with them, their program is really straightforward. So let's jump into it. So they have all these links, and I'm going to provide this in a link to the video, so you can go through this, how it works, jump to these different links, how it all works. Let me blow this up a little bit. So, who is eligible, how do I apply, all this kind of stuff. So those are jump to links. So it's just explaining a little bit about their history and everything like that. With our program, you have the ability to choose a qualifying home listed for sale and rent it from us up to 5 years. In Georgia, that's the case, so I guess it's different in Texas. With a right to purchase. So you rent with a right to purchase. So it's an option to buy. Monthly rent and right to purchase prices are provided before signing the lease. I like that. So they put everything down. Basically, it's a one sheet of paper where it tells you what are going to be the monthly rent for 5 years and what would be the option to buy price for 5 years. Whether you exercise your right to purchase, renew your lease, or move out, we hope to help you on your path to home ownership. Okay, cool. So there's flexibility. So they designed the program to be flexible. You can rent the home with the option to buy when the time is right at a predetermined price. That's another thing. So, with prices, with the market not being as crazy as it was, there's still appreciation expected in the upcoming year, for example. So if you lock in a price and it goes up even higher, it's kind of like a real stock option or whatever. You agree you have this right to buy a stock at $60 per share. Like, the market can do whatever it wants to do. Like, you got your contract already done beforehand. Selecting a home is a big decision, so we give you the power to choose. This is big, and a lot of people don't fully understand this, and they'll come to me, they'll say, I'm looking for something in Lithonia, I'm looking for something in Cobb County, I'm looking for something wherever, you fill in the blank, right? And I say, listen, just go into the program and see if you qualify money-wise and what kind of budget you can get, and whatever area you like as far as in the metro is most likely covered. Now they have some areas that they don't service. They want to make good investments as far as what's going to rent well for them and everything like that. But generally speaking, the metro area is you can shoot for whatever you like. Let's see, what do we do? The first one was in McDonough, the second one was in Covington, and the third one was in Tyrone, Georgia. If you're not familiar with that, that's Fayette County, right out of Fulton, close to Palmetto, down there south Fulton, like way south Fulton, and Fayette, right over the line in Fayette County. So that's the last one we did in Tyrone, and the one that fell through was also Covington. So there's some activity out there. Transparency. They really are. They're straightforward. I like the simplicity of this, and this is not a knock on Divvy, but Divvy's program is a little bit it's a good idea for them to save money, so you have part of your money that you save and everything like this. This program ain't like that. They give you a rental amount, and it is what it is. And say for example, if you want to rent for a year, and then you want to quit the program, you quit the program. You can rent for a year and then leave the program and be completely done. You can rent for 2 years and leave, rent for 3 years and leave, rent for 4 years and leave, or rent for 5 years and leave. Or you can exercise your option to buy at any point during that, and I believe you have to give them a 60-day notice. Like to say, okay, I'm ready to buy. You got to give them 60 days before you actually do it. So that's the deal. Resident criteria. You might be a good fit if you're looking to live in a single-family home or a fee simple townhome in our approved community. So no condos, if I'm not mistaken, and different kind of stuff like co-ops. So your annual household income has to be at least 40 grand, and you have to have proof of that. You have a minimum of 45 days from the date of application to move in. Okay. Criteria subject to change. Okay, and the number of applicants per household may be restricted by applicable law. One thing about this is kind of cool is they let you, and I'm not sure if they're going to cover it here, but if I'm not mistaken, like say if I'm an adult and I have another adult in the household, like even if it's not like my spouse or whatever, like they count all the income for the adults, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm not sure if they're going to go through this or not. So cat and dog friendly. Home partners advantage. So you have the right to purchase the home at any time. Okay. Application I can't say it. Application process. Pre-qualification. So you go through 6 questions to determine, and I think they have it here later in the thing, the actual 6 questions that they ask. Full application. Each member over 18 will be subject to a credit and background check. We recommend having all required income verification documents ready. So I have a list here. The application cannot be processed until all verifiable documents are correctly uploaded. Okay. Once all required information is received, an application fee is paid, $75 in Georgia. We typically make a decision within 1 to 3 days. They're real quick on everything they do. Like they give like these windows or whatever, but they're real quick on it. And when you get into the offer process, they're on it, submitting offers, and it's competitive. A lot of like investment type companies, like they're too slow. These guys, that's not these guys. Um, the final step is to upload income documents for each household member who will be contributing to rent. We use these documents to calculate the maximum monthly rent amount for your household. So you can have multiple people contributing to the rent. Each household member who will be contributing to the rent. Your submitted documents can be found under My Uploaded Documents. If you add documents after submitting the initial documents, processing will start over. So you got to get your documents in at the beginning. If you have a household member after the initial application has been submitted, their income will not be considered. So you got to get your stuff like get all your income and stuff in the beginning, like get it all submitted, all your documents, and then get everybody who's going to be on it. Like don't try to add stuff later because that's a problem. They have to start it over. And I don't know if they'll charge you that fee again. That's $75. So be aware of that. So there's the pre-qualification questionnaire. Let's see what they ask. Six questions. Load this up. Load it up. Okay. Certain yes or no credit background screening questions to determine. So this is just what you tell them. Does your household make 40 grand? Does any household member have an open or unsatisfied Chapter 7 bankruptcy? Has any household member that will contribute to monthly rent have an order of eviction granted against them within the last 5 years or filed against them within the last 12 months? Does any household member that will contribute to monthly rent have an unsatisfied residential rental collection exceeding 250 that originated within the last 3 years? So standard stuff, like as far as rental, they want to make sure you're solid, no evictions and bankruptcies, stuff like that. Any member on the, why is this thing right in the middle? So it's like when I'm trying to go over there, click here. No, I don't want to submit it. Oh, are you on an OFC sanctions list? And I don't even know what that is. Block persons list. Oh, sex offender. Okay, gotcha. So you're on any of these lists and stuff, so you would know that. Any house that had a felony conviction in the last 6 years. Okay, so there you go. And I'm not sure if that's I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's a deal breaker. You'd want to talk to them because I had someone recently, or is it with I think with the lender, that felony conviction, just as long as you got the money, you were able to go. Then that's with the mortgage lender. So someone was asking me that recently. Does a felony conviction knock you out? It might knock you out with these guys, but if like with the lender, you might be able to get through with it if you have like the income and everything. I'm not sure how much they care about that kind of stuff, just as long as you got the money to pay the loan. That's kind of off topic. All right, so let's make sure we can get back. So income verification, and maybe I'll speed up to try to get through more of the stuff here. So, allowable debt to income ratio, 50% of monthly income less monthly debt. Okay, so you know how much you owe versus how much you make. 40% rent to income ratio, monthly income less monthly debt. Okay. Income verification. You got to have. This is the stuff that you got to, you got to put some pay stubs, two most recent pay stubs. If you're relocating, you secured a new position, we also require an offer or a transfer letter. Okay. So, or contract employment, 2 years. Most recent. Oh no, I see. I was thinking that in my head. Most recent tax return and 2 most recent personal or business bank statements. This is a big one. This is a big one because I had one recently. I had a buyer recently that qualified for this program, and everybody knows the rule with mortgage lenders. You got to have 2 years 2 years tax returns, and you got to be able to show that income on there, and that is not the case here. So a lot of people that are self-employed are making great money, but they don't necessarily show it on their tax return. And here's what I mean: like they take a lot of expenses, like say if you're in the trucking business or whatever, lots of expenses all the time. Now you might make great money, but you might be taking so many deductions on your tax return, like the bottom line or your net is not really that much. After you take all the deductions, it could hardly be anything in some cases where you're canceling it all out. That doesn't really work in a lot of scenarios. You gotta not take the deductions and pay a higher tax to be able to show that on your tax return. And that's kind of a sidebar issue, but the moral of the story is that Home Partners, you may be able to get approved with them in some cases where you can't get approved for a loan with the lender. Lump sum prepayment of first year's rent plus security deposit. In lieu of income verification documents set forth, you may elect to pay the rent, entire first year's rent, and security deposit. Okay, so that would be big, but you could possibly get around it in some cases. Unemployment looks like they will take Social Security, child support. That's helpful. Rental income, annuities, trust accounts. So these are the kind of things that you can use. Let's go to this page 2. Load up. 2 pay stubs, traditional employment. If you're self-employed, you need 2 bank statements and a tax return. You need your war letter for your Social Security, child support. You need 2 bank statements and the court documents. Military. So it just goes on down to show all this stuff. So here's your property search. So going on to, a lot of the conversations I have with people is the application process and the eligibility requirements and stuff like that. The property search, once you get through the eligibility part, they're going to tell you, okay, you can go for this amount of monthly rent, or you can go for this amount of home price. So you take that, and then you go to what their homes are, and you could also just look on any home for sale. And say if you give it to me, say you want 123 Main Street in XYZ city in the Atlanta Metro. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll look it up, and I can determine if it's eligible, even if it's not on their website, even if it's someone selling their house for sale by owner. I can check on that for you, and if it's in pretty good condition, likelihood that it will be approved is good. Certain areas they really don't do, but a lot of areas they do, and you can look. They have a lot of a lot of homes like on their website, and you can kind of get an idea. But the the point is that it's not limited to just the homes there on their website. So you browse the homes, you schedule the showings with your agent. So all of this whole program is a substitute for financing. So the process looks a whole lot like it normally would as far as going to see homes. Once we get home partners behind us, then we go see what you like, see what you want, and stuff like that. And anything that we like, we'll be bouncing off of home partners. Hey, is this approved? Hey, is there anything that we need to be aware of as far as is this if it has like certain things like a pool. I don't think the pool is allowed. So you just bounce certain things off of them. You want to make sure the condition is pretty good of the home. They're not going to take like a fixer upper or anything like that. They don't do all that. So you just kind of bounce it off, and I've gone through enough of them with them where I can kind of see, hey, this one's going to work or this one's not going to work. But always like specifically reach out to them and I'll check on it for you. So you browse the homes, you schedule the showings. To say if you figure out one that you want, and then you send it to Home Partners. Say, hey, can we submit an offer on there? Now there's other agents working with Home Partners. They might have got to it first, and they're say if they got another agent willing to buy it for another buyer that's in the program, then you can't submit it twice because they can only buy the home once. So if they're already scheduled to buy it with another client that's in the program, then you're done. That's one of the things you check out. Say, hey, has this home been submitted yet to Home Partners? And they say yes or no or whatever. If they say no, then you go ahead and submit it to them and say, we want to get an offer on this, and then they go ahead and produce an offer, and you submit that to the seller of the house, and the offer is usually really strong. Once you get to the offer part, you're usually winning. You're gonna most likely win it, unless there's like some really strong competition in that one. But Home Partners comes really strong. So if you get the one that you like and you get Home Partners behind you, there's a very strong likelihood that you're going to win. And that's really strong in this market. If you've been out there by yourself and you know what like some of these fees and some of the amounts that people are going above asking price, Home Partners cuts all that out. They're kind of your big brother with a big stick. Like they just kind of smash it for you and get you in the door. Your agent submits the property. If it passes our review, we submit our competitive cash offer. Cash offer is huge. That's a big deal. Anytime as a seller you see a cash offer, that goes to the top of the list. If accepted, you sign a 1-year lease and right to purchase agreement. Monthly rent and right to purchase prices are provided for up to 5 years. So they give you that right off the bat. They're going to tell you what you're looking at for rent and what your price to buy it back from them is. So it's all straightforward right away. Right when they're looking to buy, they're going to tell you what you can buy it back from them and what your rental. So it kind of all happens simultaneously. The purchase process, timeline to closing. The average time for property submission to move in is typically 5 to 6 weeks. So your agent sends you the renovation checklist. There's a few things that you can kind of customize and ask for, like I want to get it painted or flooring or whatever. There's a few things that you can kind of do, and it may or may not kind of cost you more money, but you get to kind of customize it a little bit. I'm not going to go through that here. Your household completes. Let me blow this up a little bit. Their household completes a renovation checklist. They got to have that renovation checklist, and then the agent submits it for the final review. We notify you of our decision within 4 to 6 hours. Again, this is really critical that they move quickly, and they do. Like if you get their renovation checklist out, they're gonna move really quickly with the offer. And even before they come with the offer, they'll tell me like, okay, this is coming for this amount. You can tell the other guys, so that way you stop the competition, and they're gonna take it seriously, because anytime a seller gets a real cash offer or whatever, and people know Home Partners, more and more. Um, have either worked with them on the buy side, on the sell side, and they're definitely the real deal. Okay, so this is if the offer is accepted. So home inspection, that's one of the first steps. So they want to make sure that the home inspection goes well. Households should anticipate 10 to 15-day inspection period. So they're going to inspect it, make sure it's good. Your agent, am I going in the right place? Okay, I was about to say. Okay, so you get they check it out. They do their renovation checklist. They get the offer. Um, so we send that offer to the selling agent. The household reviews anticipated terms. Um, and then the security deposit and the signed lease are due within 2 business days. So they're going to ask you for the renovation checklist, and then they're going to hit you with the deposit right away. The reason is they're sending a cash offer for however many 100,000. So they're getting you locked in, and then they're locking in the house. And then, so next step, this makes more sense. So next step is a home inspection. They're going to make sure it's all checked out, and they check it hard too. I was telling you one that was a beautiful looking house, had some underlying issues. They found it, and we ended up not going through with the purchase. Make ready for hold on. Okay. So home inspection, and then closing day, your agent completes a final walkthrough. And on the beginning part of it, you take like a ton of pictures for Home Partners, because they're an investor. They're like out of Chicago. So you send a bunch of pictures. They check it all out. And, that's part of the initial submission, just to even see if they want to go forward with it. And then you go ahead for an offer. But they might kick it back in the beginning, because if it looks, they'll get a bunch of pictures here, and then at the end they'll get a bunch of pictures to make sure it hasn't changed. Any repairs they ask for, they want to make sure they're done, all this kind of stuff. Then you close, but that's when Home Partners buys the house. You're not in it yet. It takes about 2 weeks after closing for you to actually move in. And the Pathlight guys, their property management, will kind of guide you through this move in process on what you need to do, when you're going to move out, how you're going to get the keys, stuff like that. Your household receives a move-in information from Pathlight and a lockbox code on the morning, so they'll kind of guide you through. And there's other things too, just to make sure you're all squared away, from the time that closing happens until the move-in day. And we're in that phase right now. We just closed on one yesterday, and so now Pathlight has kind of taken over, and they're going to guide the homeowner into the move-in. Lease information. So this is good stuff. Where's the security deposit and signed lease are due within 2 business days of going on the contract. Okay, so yeah, they need that. They need that right away. Um, Security deposit varies by state. Let's look at this. This is good information. So they have different states or whatever. Let's look at Georgia to see what the requirement is. Load this up. So if we're looking at Georgia, so state-specific fees. Georgia, $75 application fee. That's right up front. The security deposit is two months rent. You got pets, pet rent. Application fee, back to that $75. 75 in Georgia. Some other states got other stuff going on. The trash and water, and Pathlight's name are available on move-in date. Trash, sewer, and water are owner-held utilities, meaning they are in Pathlight's name, okay, and available on move-in date. Charges are billed back to the household's ledger along with a one-time $30 setup. Okay, so you're going to pay utilities, but it's going to be through Pathlight. Pets, you got a $300 movement fee. Air filters, so you got a $15. So they're going to do the air quality and stuff for you. Pool maintenance, $100 fee applies to pools. And then they want you to have this liability coverage on the house so that they're protected from an insurance point of view. Okay. Rent certainty. This is a good thing. So lease purchase is a unique version of a standard rental lease. We lock it in for up to 5 years. Each year, a resident's monthly rent increases by no more than 3.75%. So they're not trying to beat you over the head. They get you in the rent, and they're going to tell you what this is, right? It's not a surprise. So you'll know from day one what 5 years out is going to look like. Lease terms. Every lease is 1 year term that automatically renews. However, you decide not to renew, there are no penalties. We ask that you give us a 60-day notice so that way you can get your security deposit and everything like that. Right to purchase prices. Total cost is the price we pay, the price that they pay for the acquisition, which includes the purchase price, closing costs, HOA transfer. There's not always one of these. Make ready costs and a resident requested renovations, landlord work. Total cost will be determined right to purchase prices. So you got purchase price, say if it was 200,000, closing cost of 3,000, make ready and landlord work. So they're going to get it in a pretty good condition for you. They're gonna they have some standard kind of upgrades or whatever that they put into it, and then they're going to take your renovation checklist and do those things that you requested as well. You can exercise your right to purchase anytime during the lease so long as we are given a 60-day notice. Okay, so each year the right to purchase increases 3.5 to 5%, so similar to the rent. So they're going to mark it up every year. So if the total cost is 210 and the right to purchase increases by 5%, then the right to purchase for years 1 through 5 is here. So you started at 220, year 2 you could buy for 231, and so on. And so they say begin the process or whatever there. If you're interested in working with me through the program, I can send you like a customized invite or just mention my name or whatever, and we'll get you started. Or just go through them. It's all good. So what do we got? Renovation property. Renovation policy. The agent sends you the renovation checklist. So back to that. This is where you may request certain paint, carpet, appliances. We advise that you read it closely, as requested renovations need to be approved by us before an offer is made to the seller. We reserve the right to deny any requests and do not replace appliances that are working. Renovation costs are added to the right to purchase price. So we kind of went through that, so now they're just taking a deeper dive in that. We recommend choosing a property with an oven and a refrigerator. They're in good condition. If these are not left by the seller, you have the option to purchase them at your own expense or have us provide them, adding to the right to purchase price so you can put your own stuff in there. We will not supply or maintain washers and dryers. If not included in the sale of the home, you can bring your own. So if the other guys leave, if the seller leaves it, you can keep it. So there's a property guide you can look at. Make ready costs. This is a budget for anticipated repair items that might be uncovered during the inspection. Renovation checklist. These changes are performed during the make ready period. This is a cost estimate. The estimate is based on their experience. Life safety, asset preservation, lock changes, cleaning, one-time seasonal landscape cleaning, pool startup if you got a pool. Fences. Households are responsible for the repairs and fences and maintenance of fences. This applies if the property This applies if it's on the property prior to moving in and not installed by the household. To install a fence, you must provide a proposal form so you can install a fence. Um, you can go through Pathlight if you're interested in the fence. Pathlight. All right, I'm going to stop here. So Pathlight is the property management, and you can read on to what your relationship would be with them. But as the renter, you would deal through them. So we can just kind of skim through this. So, ensures a safe property condition, so they're going to take care of you. That's the move-in day. They're going to make sure that this is good. So you're responsible for any minor repairs. So these are some of the things. I'm just going to kind of go through here, right to purchase. If you decide that this house is your forever home, we are here to help you. We want you to make home ownership a reality. Go to Homepartners. Who that is at the door. Okay, so the details on the purchase process. Kind of went through a lot of this. Lease renewal. If you decide to stay in the home for another year, you don't need to worry about it because it's automatic. I think they just said that. Moving out. If you decide to move out, security deposit will be. They're kind of going over the same stuff a few times, but I'm gonna cut it there. I hope everybody got some good value out of it. Thanks for checking me out. I know this one's a little bit long, but this program is really working really well for a lot of people, and getting them in, getting their foot in the door, and giving them the opportunity to go forward with great properties. So everyone that I've dealt with are really high quality properties and great neighborhoods and all this kind of stuff. So I'm really happy for everybody that I worked with so far, and looking forward to continuing with these guys. Homepartners, they're the real deal. In this space, there's scammers, there's, this and that. I hear all the time, so and so took my deposit, and so and so. I said, really? Who are you working with? Oh, I don't know who it was. These guys ain't that. I did three since July. So I had a fourth one that just missed. I have other people that are very promising through the program, and it's so cool to see like they're being made. There's a way to kind of work around the mortgage. It's not like a hard no anymore. Like these kind of program and the rent to own. Like say if you find someone on Craigslist with say you want to rent to own my house, right? People ask me about that all the time. I bypass all those. I don't deal with those. I'll send you to Homepartners in a second because this is so much more reputable. Dealing with just some guy in some house. First of all, you got no flexibility. You can with Homepartners you can go at any house. And they do have some that they exclude, but there's a lot of real estate in the Atlanta area, and they're for it. If it's in a good neighborhood that they approve, and it's something that they're looking to rent in good condition and everything. There's a lot of different. I've been all over the city with Homepartners. From all different corners of the city. So there's a lot that they will approve, and so much more than one guy. Back to the other scenario, one guy, on Craigslist or wherever you find them. I want to rent to own. You don't know who this guy is. You don't know what that contract looks like. This is, a reputable deal, as we've seen over and over and over again. And like I said, clients brought me this. At the same time, I was hearing about it from other agents in the office that were working with them, and I've definitely had a good experience. So just wanted to run through that. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. But yeah, thanks for checking me out. Tune in every week, and have a great day. Thank you.